Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Boom Rookies with Grub, presented by ESPN, coming at you live from the Grub Hub. Back with me in person, in studio, Josh Reynolds. Hello.
How are you, mate? Good to be back on Aussie soil. Had a really good time over in the States. Footy was great, as we said last week, but it's good to be back home. But I will say you are you're glowing today.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's something about you. Something happened on the weekend, a big occasion. Anything?
I don't know if you watch rugby league at all, but there's when they score, it's called a try.
Yes.
And this guy on the weekend who plays for the team I support,
Correct.
he broke the record for the most tries anyone's ever scored in their whole career.
That's why you're glowing.
Yeah.
I did see the statue. What's your thoughts? What initial thoughts, and just from the face you just pulled, you think it's
very cool that he got a statue. I don't think faces on statues ever work all that great. It instantly reminded me of the Ronaldo one from a few years ago. If you remember that? The highlight to me was like, I saw a photo from the unveiling, and it's just like AJ looking like nonplussed, and Latrell with his face buried on AJ's shoulder, like crying with laughter when the thing was pulled off, which is great. If your mates can't take the piss out of you,
I think it's very, you know how with the clubs these days it's all a bit AI-ish, isn't it? You know, the Bulldog symbol come out this year, the Broncos, they're all heading in the direction. I feel that is a little bit of the way of the future. That's how Alex's face looked. But maybe I'm just jealous I don't have a statue.
Where would you rather your statue be, at Belmore or at ANZ/Homebush?
Oh, come on. Easy.
Belmore. Yeah, but most of your best career moments would have been at Homebush.
Yeah, but it's just, being at Belmore, being from Belmore, being in the heart.
Can we get you one?
No, absolutely not. We definitely can't. But
any stonemasons out there? If you want to build a marble Josh Reynolds outside Belmore, get in touch.
Man, we've got a serious show here to get on with, so let's be serious here. All in all, honestly, great moment.
Yeah.
You were there. You can fill us in, but just for me, I want to just say, like, to Alex, mate, congratulations. A record that hasn't been broken in a very, very long time, and mate, you've done it. You've achieved this prolific try scorer, our best ever, clearly now. But I will say, the thing I love about Alex, don't know him too well, played against him a lot, scored a lot of tries on us, especially on my right edge. Everyone says he's a great guy, and I really like that. I love that he's not up himself or smug, down to earth, just really taking it in, and just a great moment, a great occasion for all you South fans, but also just people in general.
I think just the rugby league community in general. Like, the thing I noticed immediately when I got there on Friday was that it wasn't just Souths jerseys and Roosters jerseys everywhere. I saw Dogs jerseys, Tigers jerseys, Sharks jerseys, Panthers jerseys, Raiders jerseys, like jerseys for most clubs. And I think people kind of recognize that this was a genuine occasion for the sport. And you don't get a lot of those, especially in the regular season. You get Anzac Day, you get Magic Round, all that stuff. But it's rare that, like, just your meat and potatoes Friday night footy game can be such a big deal. And this was. And I think that it was handled spectacularly by everyone. Like, credit to the Roosters for earlier in the week acquiescing to sort of public pressure and being like, yeah, well, of course we'll honor him if and when it happens. I understand they have to put up signs saying don't run on the field and all this stuff, but I think everyone who ran on, with the exception of like that one guy, behaved impeccably well on the field. It was just a very good moment and a very positive moment for the sport. It was interesting, by the way, leading up to the second try, they flashed up on the big video board at the stadium multiple times, like, do not run on the field, fines apply. And every time they did, the whole stadium booed. And it was at that point that I thought, if he gets it tonight, we don't have to, like, people are running on.
It's on.
It's on. And I'll tell you, I very nearly missed the try. And I would not have been able to forgive myself. So I went to the bathroom at halftime, and there was quite a lot. Because obviously, South scored, 40 seconds up at halftime, right? So I went to the bathroom, bit of a line. On the way back, there's one stall in that whole stadium that sells Guinness. And I love a Guinness.
Yep.
So I got one.
Good, and shout out to the
guy that served me. Because what do you do when you pour a Guinness? You pour most of it, right? Then you let it sit for 90 seconds or so. Then you top it up, right? And even at the stadium, he did that. And I was like, wow, that's impressive. That's good knowledge of the craft. But that extra time, then I got back to my mates and put my beer down 10 seconds before David Fafita threw that pass.
Wow. So you nearly missed it.
And saw the whole thing. Yeah.
Well, I will say one thing as well, just on behalf of, I was very, very surprised how well the fans dispersed.
Yeah.
Because watching it from telly, I honestly thought it was going to take a couple of hours. Just I just thought, you know what, everyone's embracing it. Albo's there doing his thing. But I just thought it's going to be a while here. But then all of a sudden, it was sort of like a respect. It was a respect thing, you know, like, let's face it, the NRL, even our supporter bases, us as players, we're known to be a little bit, you know, we're not as straight 180 as the AFL or the rugby. So we've got a little bit of a bad name in that sense, but proud of everyone. We embrace that moment. It's a very special moment for the NRL, for Alex, for South. And I thought we done it well. The one thing I'll say, though, I think it killed you.
So it's interesting because I've heard a few South fans say that to me, both before and since the game. And it kind of echoes what Wayne Bennett also said before and after the game, where like it felt like the record had become a bigger story than winning or losing the game. And to be fair, it absolutely did. And so I think it's really a good thing for Souths that it's dealt with. It was done against your arch rivals in front of a packed stadium of 41,000 people, whatever it was, and it was a great moment. But now they can put it behind them and just concentrate. Because this is a good football team who played in a really good game, by the way. I thought like it hasn't been a high bar in terms of quality for me this year in the NRL, mainly due to the 6 agains, and we can talk about that probably one more week of blowouts, and we'll talk about it next week. But I'm officially worried. Anyway, but I thought that game was probably the best game of the season so far through 2 weeks. And I thought the Roosters' defense in the first 20 minutes was fantastic. So, like, great occasion, but yeah, you're annoyed to lose the football game, and especially when you've got all off season. What did I say? If Souths are fit, they can match it with anyone. They're relatively fit.
They'll never win in that game. I'll be honest with you.
You think the occasion was just too big?
Oh no, the Roosters. It's a lot harder than what people think. To, you know, some people can do it.
Yeah,
something happen, go off. Come back and switch straight back on. Some people can't. It's not as easy as what people think, right? And I just think the Roosters I reckon the Roosters knew this could have happened. So as soon as this happened, the Roosters weathered the storm, 12-all, right? The Souths are in it. But the Roosters fell back into the methodical, their ways, their structure, and they took the hype out of it. South started falling off tackles, just not playing how they were in that first half. They hung in there. They were tight. They were good. But I just think the Roosters knew it was coming. They handled the occasion better. Their halves were better. Cherry Evans and Walker,
got the balance right.
That combination was a lot better. That's only going to grow. But I just want to give a guy a rap for South. I thought he's brilliant. Was Totola. He hasn't probably hit the heights that we've seen of him before in the last couple of years with injury and whatnot. But, you know, you lose Kalol Matangi. You get pain, but you always need a partner in crime. You really do. And I think he had a brilliant game, but it was a great game, as you said. Probably the best refereed one. I think it was G. Was it Adam G?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure G. Let the boys go. He understood the occasion, and it was a better product. Well, let's not get into the refs.
No, let's not. Again, one more week of blowouts. One more week of blowouts and 1,006
But it's building. It's building, boys. I'm telling you, it's building.
It is. It sure is. But yeah, what do you think of the gold number, by the way, when it came back? I thought it was a nice touch.
Nice touch, but once again, it's just it's hard to do that in the game and to refocus.
You can tell Wayne Bennett of all people.
He was
very happy.
Mate, very. You know what?
Yeah.
I would have thought Wayne might have come out and said, "Oh, really, really happy." He sort of stuck to he actually was fuming about the loss.
Yeah,
but that's what we want from a coach, right? What he would do. Wayne is shown us that he's not happy, but he would go up to Alex after and say, "Mate, well done. It's been brilliant." That's a big. Des was a bit like that. You know, to the cameras and the media, he was a different person to the guy that the personal touches he had. And, you know what I mean. So I reckon that's what's happened. But look, what a game! Well done, Alex.
Yeah, and well done everyone that was there.
Yep.
Great, well behaved, and well done to the Roosters for being such gracious hosts.
Is that Roosters guy the first guy in? Is he allowed back in the chook pen? Legend.
Because you got mate. Someone's got to be the first man over the wall. You know,
rivalry,
mate. This was bigger than the rivalry, and this was the one
thing. Saying it's bigger than a rivalry,
mate. I was there. I had Roosters fans all around me who were like happy when it happened. Wow. Not happy that their team had conceded a try, but just happy to have been there and witnessed it. Well, like, ask yourself this: if it'd been broken against the Dogs, like, would you have been happy? Well, not happy that they conceded a try, but you would have been appreciative of the moment, surely.
But Roosters. South is a bigger rivalry than us and Dogs.
Okay, let's say that it was.
This is the biggest rivalry in the rugby league.
Let's say it's Semi Radradra instead of Alex Johnston. Then it's Bulldogs Para. Well, you still would have been happy.
I don't think a Bulldogs fan's jumping the fence.
You don't reckon?
Not first.
They don't need much of an excuse.
This is territory. Hey,
Can you imagine if
a little left
by
jab.
the way, can you
Bulldog
imagine,
supporters,
mate?
I'll
Can
tell
you
you where he
imagine
lives later.
Good Friday. How good would that have been? 70K on the field.
Wow.
now that would have taken 2 hours to thin everyone out. But yeah, just a great night and a great occasion. Well done, everyone. All right, let's move on to our players. We had to do this remotely last week, so we didn't do this, but we got our big board back.
We're back.
Such a shame for Knights fans that they're going to be without Dylan Brown and Kalen Ponga for the short term future. But for 20 or so minutes on Sunday afternoon, the boys were cooking. They were looking great.
I'm so happy to say I've been wrong about the Knights so far.
Me too.
They've been a lot more steady than what I thought. You know, we've had this whole Dylan thing of can he control the game? You know, can Brown control the game? And he hasn't had to because, you know, you've had Ponga on one side, him on the other side, send Smith on the weekend come-ins, which I actually think is going to be a good thing for the Knights. He really stepped
up in that second. He was great.
So it's going to be Sharp and Smith.
Yeah,
not a bad combo. You also had Hunt out the back. Like, I know they lose their two biggest players. I think I've seen $2.7 million or something, which is huge. But they are, you know, where they won it. They won it on the weekend in the middle. The Trey Mooney.
Mate, Trey Mooney is already looking like one of the signings of the season.
Brilliant, and their back rows are good. They're working hard for each other.
Came on, played really well. Matt Croak had to play 60 minutes because of the reshuffles, and they weren't able to activate all their forwards. He put in huge minutes, like just a great team performance from them. But yeah, this play in particular with Brown and Ponga combining for Dom Young. So this is. I mean, we're not going to get this for the next few weeks, but this is what Knights fans are hoping that they're going to see for the next, few years or whatever.
Absolutely. And, first things first, I just want to, if you go back to the start of this play, you pause it here. So before Ponga throws his ball, straight away, when you're a half, especially that first half, the first thing you're looking at is where the back rower is. So the back rower being Ben Travojevic, he's so tight, meaning you've got space on the outside. So Ponga realizes this straight away, which means he knows he doesn't have to dig too far into the line because on the try line, defenders are wanting to jam. They're wanting to come in and shut down the play. Ponga realizes this. If we play it here, he plays out the back, Dylan Brown a bit early. Right, if he pulls it right there. Dylan Brown's job in this play is to get across to the other half, meaning Luke Brooks, meaning the three-man. Not only has he done this fairly easily because they got the numbers, Hopewadi has made Dylan's decision for him. He's made his decision for him, but Dylan's peripheral vision needs to be good because it's hard to see this because Hopewadi knows he's gone. He's absolutely gone, and Dylan throws a beautiful Harbour Bridge pass. Dom Young does the best. We talk about combinations in rugby league. This is smart football by two smart players knowing their roles and who they're getting to exactly. That is good rugby league, and people might not think teams do this all the time, but it's about players knowing their jobs. And that was two great examples of that.
Yeah, and that's the main reason I wanted to highlight that is just because that's the first real example we've got of what this tandem can be. And if you're a Knights fan, you've got to be so excited.
And you know what I loved about it too, Matty? Ponga's at the front. Pong's like the half.
Yeah.
Whereas Brown's out the back of the
fact that
line.
they can be fluid in the way that like Trindle and Hines can, or in the way that Cherry Evans and Walker can. Like, when you've got teams where first and second reserve can swap around a lot, it's so important.
It's a big thing, and it gives defenses a different look that they're not used to. They're like, I trained all week saying Nathan Cleary was going to be at the front. He's not. What's going on here? So brilliant bit of footy, and the Knights fans will be spewing that they don't get to see much of that in the next month.
How much more would it have hurt if they'd lost the game though? So at least
way more.
At least they won the game. That's all.
It's sort of what's showing you where Manly's at as well, but we won't get into that.
But now our defensive play week. The Titans haven't had a lot to smile about throughout the first 2 weeks of the season. They probably should have won this game. They had it well in hand with 20 or so minutes to go. But I did want to wrap Keanu Kinney for his effort here to run basically across the entire field and save a try.
So straight away, we just see the one thing I'll say. Look, this segment, I sort of said to you, Matty, I want to see reads. I want to show you why people do things. But if we can take this, if we can see this from the start, stop here. Kinney is at the back of the scrum. He's at the back of the scrum.
Field. He runs
on the other side of the field. But one thing he doesn't do, and this is to all kids in any defensive line, never stop. Your coaches will say never stop. He never stops once. He's not going at full pace. If we play it here, he's just slowly running. He's never given up. He's never giving up. And you know what, mate? Half the time, everyone's worried about coming up with big plays. big hits, Harbour Bridge passes. Trust me, you're going to get in more rugby league sides doing little effort plays like that, because I'm telling you right now, the Titans lost that game, but they would have went in on Monday, and Hene would have highlighted that in front of all his teammates, because that's what you want to. They're the guys you want to play with. The game's on the line. You do not care. You never stop, and that is just a brilliant play from a guy that we're known to be
mainly for his attacking play.
Yeah. So I love that. I know it wasn't a read and whatnot, but he just never stopped, and that's a guy I want to play with.
When they get Campbell back, their attack gets a little bit better. Then maybe they'll have a bit more joy. But
when is he back? Any idea?
It's relatively soon.
They need him.
Yeah, they need him bad.
Like that last set.
Attacking, man, not great.
Yeah, they would want that over again. It was. I wasn't sure. I'm not sure who was that hooker, but the hooker went one way, Lockie Ellis went the other. They got back to a point, vice versa. It just didn't look good. But you know what? They're building. It was way better. It was a response from last week at Shark Park. A response, and that's what Hene wants. They're going to grow. They're going to get better. But the Dolphins, on the other hand, very, very erratic. I would like to say, like you know what I feel at the Dolphins at the moment, Matty, is they're really missing Jeremy Marshall-King, because what he does, he engages the markers straight away, which opens up space for Katoa and Nicarima. He understands what to do and where to engage. But I feel at the moment that the Dolphins might have read a bit of their own. You know, everyone's they're
the trendy. Well, you said they would definitely make
be in the
top
4,
eight,
and I'm
probably maybe the 4.
I'm still definitely, but I feel at the moment they're doing too much. They're overplaying. You know, last year it was all smooth. It was only playing if they're on the weekend. If a couple of them were getting jammed and they're throwing balls out the back, that's not on. We know how silky yous are, but they'll know. They'll find their balance, and it'll eventually come.
Yeah. All right. Some other highlights over the weekend. Even by Leichhardt standards, it was absolutely packed on Saturday afternoon, and the Tigers, didn't they look sharp?
The Harlem Globetrotters, or the Tigers?
Mate, Jerome Luai having a day out there.
Well, he's back,
looking fantastic.
Well, why do you think he's back, Matty? You tell me why you think Jerome's back to his usual self.
Is there an answer here?
It's an answer.
There's an actual answer.
Promise it's an answer.
I don't know.
Adam Dewey.
Of course.
You have a number 7 that is directing the team. And look, this is the thing. Everyone sort of said, the Jerome Luai experiment didn't work at 7. That's all right. Jerome Luai's never been a 7 in his life. He tried. It didn't work. Adam Dewey steps up and he says, I'm taking full control of this team. Jerome, you do your thing. So we see Jerome Luai back to his energetic self, going down short size, making overlaps, big left foot step, second phase. This is why he's been 4 competitions. This is why he's played Origin for so long, because he hasn't had to be the general. He's played eyes up footy. He was creating problems all over the park. Every single thing he was doing was at speed. He's running a crossfield, fine new drop play, dropping under. It is so hard to stop. Tigers looked fast.
Yeah, they did. Have you asked Dewey about his try, by the way? Like,
slowest try in history.
Yeah.
Oh my! Come on, Cowboys. I could have stopped him.
What's doing with the Cowboys? It's not looking good up there.
It's a big week for them.
Yeah,
they go back. I think
play the Titans
at home or away. I'm not
you got to
win this game, but they're just. I'm just going to also say that I think the Tigers were really good.
They were.
I tell you what I'm excited about. Kai Pearce-Paul and Fainu scoring plenty of tries for the Tigers.
Well, that's what the Knights wanted from Pearce-Paul. It just never really worked out. He only got the 3 tries across 2 years. Already got 2 in Tigers Carlton in one game.
Straight away. And they look dangerous. I like the change of direction. Love that. And then playing off the back of that. I thought Alex Twa was brilliant.
He was great.
Never really gets the mentions, but his leg speed in behind the ruck, in between A and B, creates fast play the balls, which puts Jerome and Dewey on the front foot.
And as Campo noted on our Monday show as well, like he's even thrown a couple of passes now, Twally. So like they're adding some skill in the middle as well. Like just playing great, doing his role to perfection. And they're looking good.
I also a couple of little things that that might not be out there. Taylor May goes off, shoulder injury. Hopefully he's okay. Skelton comes on.
Skelton was fantastic.
Runs for 200 with 8 tackle busts and scores a try. And the one thing I know that the Tigers are a confident bunch. Benji's instilling confidence in his team. I'll give you 3 examples why.
Yes.
First one of Skelton's first attempts at a try on the corner. Can you remember what happened?
He didn't score.
He got bundled in the touch. Next play, they go back. He has every chance to come off his right. He doesn't. He backs himself in the corner, scores the try. That's confidence
Yep.
for a young guy. Next one, Luke Leili'i. Drinkwater went after him. There was a period there where the Cowboys looked like they were coming back.
Yeah.
Drinkwater got a try on him, went down, poked the nose through. Next play, Luke Leili'i comes up. He puts himself in the passing lane. Drinkwater's hungry. Luke knows he needs points. Comes up with a big play, intercept.
Yep.
That's confidence.
Yeah.
Not going back into your shell, being worried about what Drinkwater's going to do. He dictated to him. He got into position early, took the intercept. Final one, Jerome Luai. A try off his own kick and a try assist off a kick. Do you know what foot he used?
His weak foot both times.
The right foot.
Yeah.
Man, that is a confident footy team, Matty, because it's a coach saying, you do whatever you got to do to be your best. But I was very, very happy with the Tigers' performance.
South Tigers this week. That could be a dynamite
what
game.
What a game. What a game. You confident?
No, I need to, I think the Tigers got some issues at right centre with no May and no Toa. So, if they've got to put a makeshift right centre in against the South left edge, that would probably give me a little bit of confidence. But I think it'll be a really good game.
Who's Tigers' left centre?
Macassini.
You can't even. It's not. I'm not. Macassini's going to be an anything, but it's not like you can put a. It's not like you're putting a good defensive centre there.
Yeah, it might end up being Taruva, and then they put Skelton in on the wing.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough day.
So we'll see what happens. Day. But that I'm interested. That's going to be intriguing. But the overall matchup, the Tigers have got points across the park, and I think, I think that game could be fantastic. But yeah, good on the Tigers, and I didn't end up going to Leichhardt on Saturday, but it looked like a fantastic day.
Awesome.
So as it always is. The Brisbane Broncos, 0-2. Are you worried?
Am I worried? No. Only reason is because look at how their last year's season went.
Mate, some of their players some of their fans wanted Madge gone after 10 weeks.
Last year.
Yeah.
Do you remember that game at 4 Pines? They got embarrassed there.
Yeah, they did.
But what I do feel is the Broncos are a very streaky team. They can be brilliant, but then they can also be really bad.
This is why I was a little bit apprehensive when people were just taking it as a guarantee that the Broncos would be in the top 4 again this year. It's when their ceiling might be higher than any other teams in the competition. But they don't have the consistent week to week floor of a team like Penrith or a team like Cronulla or a team like the Storm, in my opinion.
They're not as you can't trust them.
No, and that's why I'm people go, "Oh, you worried the Broncos haven't won a game yet? They're going down to Melbourne this week. They'll probably lose that." It's but half the teams make the finals, and they're the team. I don't care as long as Reece Walsh is on the field. They're a team where I'm they can get hot. They can beat anyone.
Do you know one thing that?
But I will say their left edge defensively was really, really bad in that game, and that was a little bit concerning.
But the one thing with the Broncos, and always happens around Brisbane, there's always heat. Yeah, always.
That's true.
They won a comp last year, and they're already asking.
They won a comp, and before the second game of the season, there was talking heads out there going, "Oh, okay, can Madge steer this ship around?" It's mate, it's one game.
I'm going to say this though. I have played under Madge. I understand the hype about the training, the intensity in the environment, because it's not for everyone. It actually isn't. And some people don't want to come in every day and it be so intense. Some players will be like, we won. Why is it so intense? Madge goes the other way. So look, there's a lot going on. It's the preseason. He's training hard. But look, if I ask the Broncos players right now, you got to do exactly what you done last year. The training's going to be the same. It's going to be hard, but you're going to win a comp. What are you saying?
Of course they're saying yes.
Well, so this is where it's hard. I think it's just weighing him down a little bit. I really do. I just feel there's the Haas. No one knows why Haas is gone. It's just not happening for him at the moment. As you mentioned before, was a really good point. Everyone's after Ezra Mam and his defense this week. Let me tell you why Ezra Mam looked bad. Broncos play a slide style of defense. The major thing you need to do in a slide type of defense is work from the inside. Peasant and Mitch Moses were playing deep into the line with tempo, with willy-nilly whenever they wanted. There was no inside pressure, which makes it so hard for the outside backs and the halves. But then, not only was that making it hard, so Ezra Mam, he's not getting any help from the inside, which makes him vulnerable. But then you've got Shibasaki or, both Katoni Staggs being very passive as well. So Parramatta just went, all right, well, these guys aren't ever going to jam once. They're not going to jam once. They're passive. And that's where Para just kept going after that same spot, and they weren't changing on the run. The only guy that come up with one read was Karapani. Knock on. Tony Stagg goes 50 meters up the field.
Yeah.
I just feel sometimes on the run, even if you have a defensive system, you've got to adapt. It's not working. Ezra Mam, unfortunately, was under the pump. But everyone can watch Ezra Mam this week. He'll be better. His defense is actually very strong.
Great contact.
Whacks people.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all have our days, but it's not one person. It's that system. The inside pressure needs to be more. I think they bounce back. I think they beat Melbourne.
Wow.
I think there's a bounce back. It's a grand final replay. Melbourne are going to want to make a statement. You know, you beat us last year.
Brisbane's record in Melbourne is almost as bad as South's.
Is it really?
I think it's really bad.
Wow.
Like, obviously, nothing's as bad as 0%, but I think it's not great. But we'll see.
Can we just have a little shout out to Reece Walsh, chip and chase first tackle?
The degree of difficulty on that play.
Thank you, Reece.
Oh,
thank you, man.
So...
You know what, mate? That just reminded me of being in the backyard when my dad would actually say, "You can't chip and chase on first tackle." You can, Dad. He just done it in the NRL. Hey, there you go. But man, that's what they can turn it on like that, Matty.
Mate, that was a special play. All right. Our grub of the week.
Yes. You know what? I want you to take over here.
Okay. So if people missed this, if you were watching at home, you wouldn't have seen this on Friday night, but you've surely seen the news article since about the Roosters on the scoreboard at Allianz Stadium having the Roosters logo on one side and visiting team on the other.
There it is.
Now, I thought this was very funny. I thought it was funny at the game. I took photos of it. I sent it to my mates. We were standing on we were like sarcastically yelling, "Go visiting team!" when South is so good. We thought it was hilarious.
Good.
So then to come out the next day and see like the people in charge of South or people who are very highly up with South, like crying about it, I just went, mate, you look. You're a stirrer.
I'm a grub.
I'm a stirrer.
You can
right?
say it. You can call me a grub.
No, because I mean stirrer very specifically. When you're stirring someone, what are you looking for?
A reaction.
What did Souths give the Roosters here?
A reaction.
What are you doing? You might have thought when I said grub of the week, I was going to say the Roosters for doing this. No, this is funny. Getting mad about it is so bad. Like Australians, we love to position ourselves as this nation of larrikins and free spirits. And then your arch rivals do something so harmless, so insignificant, and you still go to the newspapers to get upset about it.
Get off your high horse.
Oh my God. And then to make it worse, apparently at the New South Wales Cup game the next day at Redfern Oval, it said South Sydney on one side and visitors on the other.
Well played. That is what banter is about. It's about getting one-upped. But I look at I can see my shot here. I've got visiting team. I'm all for the visiting team. This is my favorite grub of the week. South, grow up. You know what you got to do? Come back with a better one next year.
Yeah.
Be better.
Also, you have a home game against the Roosters, and it's not at Homebush. It's at Allianz at the end of the year. You could have let this slide and then got them back with something just as good at the end of the year. But now you've made a rod for your own back by getting upset about it. Now you can't do that. Now it's just going to, in round 25 or 27 or whatever it is, it's just going to say Souths and the Roosters.
Yeah.
Boring.
You had a chance.
Well.
I'm glad you agreed because I
I will say, in terms of Souths fans, I haven't seen a single Souths fan who was upset by this.
Good.
Universally was like,
as they shouldn't be. I love it.
It's good. Bit of fun. Bit of fun. All right. What are you looking forward to this weekend? Now, your beloved Canterbury Bulldogs have not played a game in about a month. You were there the last time they played in Las Vegas. That was 3 weeks ago.
They've had another preseason. The poor boys.
Legitimately.
They've actually had. Oh, look, it's probably a good thing in a way. They've rested because they say there's a Vegas hangover, footy hangover, and drinking hangover. But no, it's an interesting one. The boys have had to go
win of the
back.
regular season last year was down there in Canberra. Big
bash up session last Thursday or something, whatever it is. So they're ready to go. As you said, Matty, that comeback last year was brilliant. There's a bit going on at the club this week, and I just hope the boys go down there and put in a really, really good performance. I'm very, very confident. The Raiders will definitely need to bounce back again. A weird game. The Warriors are really, really good. But what I'm looking forward to, is that your one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's your one.
Well, that game last year was awesome between those two teams down there, and it's got that big match feel.
Yeah.
And the Dogs haven't played in about 3 weeks, and they'll be up for it, I think. And Canberra, after getting sort of blown off the park in that last 20 minutes by the Warriors, they'll want to bounce back, because we didn't see that happen to Canberra pretty much at all last year. Well, until the second finals game they played, but
bit too soon.
Well, but they'll want to bounce back after that, and they're a different team at home. So
I'm looking for a CC. You know what that is? A Crichton Clinic.
There you go.
And it was a clinic last time he was down there. I hope that's the right spelling. I got it right. See, this is when you need help me at school. Remember we were talking about it before the show. I am looking for a West Tigers consistent game.
Yep.
What are the West Tigers known for?
Well, getting their fans' hopes up.
Inconsistency.
Yes.
Fair to say?
Oh, yeah.
I just think I liked the Tigers last week. I know it's against your South. You know what? I didn't even realize this, but I just really want the Tigers to give their fans another solid performance. Come out, be energetic, be fast, defend well. Matty, you made a good point before. That left edge is coming after you. So let's defend well. Make sure you're all in that same mindset. Let's hope there's not 4,696 six agains. It might be a bit of a different game, but I just hope for Tigers fans, this is what happens, I feel.
Yeah.
And I play for West Tigers as well, and like people say, I still want the West Tigers to go really well. So let's have another really good performance, another solid performance, and show people this year that you could possibly be the real deal and finally getting that 8.
Yeah, I think I think that game's a complete toss up. Anyone could win it, and yeah, it should be one of the best games of the weekend. But yeah, Tigers, they're fans, they're feeling good. Why wouldn't you?
3 p.m. Leichhardt, sunny, very hard to beat.
Absolutely,
very hard.
Especially when you get 9-6 agains in the first 5 minutes of the game.
That helps.
It does.
And someone sent in the bin for no one knows what he done.
That was
no one knows what he done.
It doesn't matter. The Cowboys weren't ever winning that game.
1 week they've got. We warned them.
Yep, 1 week. You got one more week to fix this 6 again nonsense. Yeah. The one thing I will say about it before we get out is 5 years ago when they brought it in the first time, I hated it then, and I thought that smart teams would game it and ruin the sport, and they did. But a lot of people, most people, I think it's fair to say, thought it was a good rule change at the time. A lot of casual fans were like, "Oh, this will speed the game up. It'll get rid of the wrestle," without really ever knowing what the wrestle means. It's just a thing people say. They don't really know what it means. But this time around, there's a lot more sentiment against it, and that makes me happy.
Man, all I'll say is, everyone, viewers, hopefully we have heaps of viewers now, surely. Watch a couple of our elite front rowers in the game. Just watch their movements and see if you think this is good for the game. Just in defense especially, it is draining the best players in our game too much. We still want our product to be good. Just watch this week.
Fatigue's not always a good thing. All right. I think that's it.
What a show. Good energy. Good stuff. We're back in the studio.
Yeah, wearing matching shirts.
That's we probably should get something on it. But anyway, I'm happy. Great show, Matty. Love it.